Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm seeing if I can find what I'm looking for. Oh, wow. Holy shit. This might do the trick. Um.
Hey, who's Grapefruit Two Step anyway? I've seen that name pop up. I'm not sure who that.
That's Zoe.
She's Zoe. That's Zoe. She's my ex.
Ah, okay.
The ex. That's why she is just monolithically referred to as my ex.
No matter
on
who
Discord.
tags her with it.
You know what? I couldn't find a better image. So I'm gonna go with one that's really fucking good and just say, hey, it's your mom.
So can we all see her?
Yes. The ritual being complete. So how exactly did you finagle this ritual?
All right, so this is a grand hex, and I, essentially remember I leveled up last session, and I figured that the best place to do, given what I had heard about the state of Atriel's soul, I figured that if I had any chance of summoning her, it would be here. So you had told us essentially this was pretty much a sanctified space. So I figured that if I could do it anywhere, I could do it here.
That's fair. This is very holy ground. So yep, sounds good. So could you send me a link to the hex exactly?
Sure.
I just want to understand exactly how it works.
Well, it's basically summon monster, 8, I think, or no, summon. I'll send you the link.
Summon planar ally.
Summon, yeah, something like that. Pathfinder, some. I hate these freaking pop-ups on PFF or RSPG.
Can't relate. Grand summon spirit. Yeah, it's greater planar ally.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm gonna take on a negative level as long as she's there.
Right.
And I have to come to an agreement with her for payment.
Right. The nature of her service.
Yeah. So. And that's kind of a weird thing to do when you're talking to your mom, but you know.
That's true. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be weird because you're just gonna have an 18th level wizard friend. Sadly, she has no equipment and no spellbook. So all she can cast are basically excruciatingly powerful lightning bolts. Because she has spell mastery lightning bolt.
In most of the talks about it, they do indicate that ghosts should have the stuff that they treasured in life.
I'm not beating you. My hands full.
Oh my dear sweet goodness. We accept it. And if her spellbook wasn't important to her, then really what was? Then again, we know how she treated you.
Yep.
Hey, oh.
Also back.
Willkommen. So, Atrial Patalis reappears. And she looks around warily for a second.
Hi, Mom. Long time.
All at once, she sets upon you like a feral animal. Do you do anything to resist?
I know I have to give her, or at least loan her, some of my life. So I just put my hand out, palm first, and present my my wrist.
Oh no. She tackles you to the floor with one arm raised towards Clementine, and she just like starts like sniffing you and checking you over. So this is real.
Yep.
Okay. Very well then. It is you, isn't it?
Yeah. I would say don't have any other daughters, except it's not really true anymore, is it?
No, it's not true. And do you really think that the two of you were the only children that I had?
No. I know there were more among the chosen, even, so. Fuck. Alright. This is fucking hard to deal with, but we have to talk. This is my first time in this finished researching this fucking ritual. So, as far as I know, I have to come to some sort of arrangement with you before we do or say anything else.
So you summon a spirit without any protections. Bold.
Do you know where we are?
Someplace that feels nice and warm and pleasant. But no, not specifically.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. If you had evil intent, it wouldn't go too well for you. So...
I should have known.
So yeah. It doesn't come more protected than we are right here. I'm not a fucking idiot. I would say you didn't raise me to be one, but, well, you know. Fuck, sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
No, don't be. I mean, there's a reason that I chose not to. This may come as some surprise, but I'm a pretty bad parent.
No shit.
However...
Are we still lying on the floor with her incorporeally hovering over me?
Unless you choose to get up.
Alright. This is pretty fucking undignified. I just kip up to my feet. I mean, 25 dexterity, I don't think it's much of a challenge.
Yeah, you're good. 25 dexterity, and you have the frame of a plank of wood. But you say dignity, and she says, huh. It's her father talking.
Well, that's an interesting fucking piece of information, but you're giving it away for free. The fact that you know who he is actually a little bit of a surprise.
I always kept track of all of my affairs.
Oh, hey, fuck. Sorry, this is all a little bit sudden. These are my friends, my comrades in arms. Clementine Pastora.
Clem gives a little bow. Nice to meet you.
Servant of Gaia, what that's worth. And Nikolai Holt, who used to
I
be
think
human.
he's still unconscious.
He is.
No, yeah. And, yeah.
I pick up his arm and wave it.
When she looked at you, she just sort of tilted her head forward as a sort of greeting. And when you wave Holt's unconscious hand, she smiles and lets out a genuine giggle.
Additionally, this is brother. Your son you didn't know about. And Kira, do you want to wave hi?
Make a raw charisma check.
That's a 13.
Your tattoos swirl a little bit. And she says, well, now that we're all acquainted, could I examine that blade, please? Sorry. Inconsiderate. Could I examine your brother, please?
I pull brother out. I hold him like the hilt in one palm, the blade in the other.
She picks up the sword by the blade, and then her hand recoils as even her spirit's form gets cut by it. Oh, that's curious. And
Yeah, he's not the same as the ones the Chosen have. He comes from the same source, but I think I tainted him a bit.
hardly. You're a very
For the
good
better.
influence on him. And she takes the other side, and when you refuse to let go of the hilt, she just comments, "Tut tut! To think you have not realized the nature of your affliction."
Hmm.
Don't look at me. I'm not going to tell you the answer. I never have, and I'm not going to start now.
Well, you do realize, I don't know how much you know about what's gone on since. I'm 51 years old. I should still be fucking playing games in some grove somewhere, and not like wielding dangerous artifacts that can kill gods. So, yeah,
Well-
but yeah, don't give me a break. It's okay.
Bold of you to assume what I had in mind for you. If I had wanted you to be playing with toys, I'd have left you with your father. I didn't. Ask yourself why. Everything happens for a reason. Although it is bold to assume that everyone's a rational actor.
That's beyond bold. It's kind of dumb. All right, so let's talk about what we need to talk about before we can.
Yes, I suppose that shall, before we start reminiscing about history and all of the things that you want to know.
How much do you know about what's happened since you went down?
I know everything that's happened to you, and all of my progeny. As I said, I keep a close eye on you.
You seemed kind of surprised when you first appeared.
Yes, it was quite sudden. I wasn't looking at you at the moment. Just because you're my favorite doesn't mean you deserve special attention.
Yeah.
You know what? No, I'm going to change that dialogue to, just because you were my last doesn't mean you deserve special attention.
But I wasn't your last.
Barely counts.
Well, I guess the question is, you have a lot of stuff that we could use, a lot of knowledge that we can use, and some answers for us. And what is it that you would like in return for that? I have some not quite, how to put it, not standard arcane powers.
Yes, I know. Made a lot of shortcuts. You do that a lot.
Yes, they're effective.
They're sloppy.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yes, a good education might have helped with that.
I gave you everything you needed. But I'm not judging. I'm simply stating a fact.
So tell me then, what the fuck is it you want?
I want Duskius and his entire bloodline gone. Eliminated from the face of Septemport.
His bloodline includes my sister, who I have no great love for, but who we fucking need at the moment.
Very well, then. All non-Betalis bloodline members. And after he dies screaming, I will want you to go up to the peak and destroy every single piece of that wretched scum.
There's not much left there as it stands.
There are many things that are deep and frozen. Better to burn them. Make sure they can never be abused again. You can be certain that the expatriates that you left up above are certainly going to try to retake their ancestral home. It's their nature. Can't even blame them for it.
You tried to help them.
I did.
You tried to show them the path. These are the people that are still surviving. They're the fucking ones who followed you.
I don't regret what I did, but you need to prune the shears before they replant the garden. Some seeds were never meant to bear fruit. And Doskius' seed is one of them.
If there's any of your flesh left on the mountain, any of what they used, I could bring you back to flesh.
I wouldn't bother. I know I look pretty young right now, but I assure you, when I was alive, I was much older. Maybe not Galather's age, but pushing it.
Pretty big fucking cougar. That I remember.
About to say, she laughs and claps.
Fuck, I don't mean to get all pissy. Jesus, this is so fucking weird.
I can't imagine why you'd be upset. You're a teenage elf, caught in a situation that she can't control and doesn't understand, approached by a mother who knows so much more than her and refuses to reveal any of it. I can't imagine why you'd be upset.
So, that sounds like a pretty big fucking price. I hesitate to say a vast price. So you must value what you've got to contribute a lot.
When I died, I was one of the most powerful wizards alive. I offer you
I saw you.
a wealth of knowledge and power. I have spells in my tome here, she says, patting the hefty book at her side, that would make Alexander's eyes turn in his head, that would make his tentacles squirm with glee. And never once did he lay eyes upon it, and never will he.
I have a question for Kira.
Send me your questions!
You could imagine Salandra's tone to that question, right?
Um. Uh. Fuck. Is my mom evil? I mean, technically, by the accordances of Dungeons and Dragons alignment, she might be evil.
Might be evil.
Might be evil, like in the same way that Gemma is evil. Like if I were to classify her as evil, like she would be necessary evil. Could she be smited by a paladin? I would say no. Not your average paladin, but the way that she acts and the way that she carries herself and the way that she deals with her problems is as rationally as possible. And sometimes being rational means being a motherfucker.
Chaotic neutral can play like evil.
But she's not. Okay, so she is pretty chaotic.
Yeah, that runs in the family. That seriously runs in the family.
She has a powerful disregard for authority.
I mean,
And
Galithar is by far the most lawful person, the Vitalis, that we've encountered.
right. And like he is chaotic as fuck.
Yep.
I'm a bard who believes in society. Bold of you to assume that society is something that deserves to exist, Galithar.
I was planning on bringing Daskius down anyway. I reserve the right, if I'm not going to kill any innocents on your behalf. So, no children, no people who are uninvolved in this.
Then there's no deal. There are no innocents. That bloodline is cursed. And I know
So
that you don't believe it.
So is the Vitalis bloodline then.
What makes you say that?
Hmm?
What makes you say that?
Well, wherever we go, disruption, death, chaos follows us.
That is the price of revolution.
Yeah.
Woe to those unwilling to pay it.
Yeah.
But, very well then. If you so desire, the children of Daskius' bloodline need not die immediately, but as soon as they step one toe out of line, as soon as they do one untoward thing, you will be honor-bound to destroy them. Do I make that clear?
I can agree to that.
Beautiful. And remember, you have a very long lifespan. I will expect you to keep your eyes open. And for every one of them that propagates is one more eye that you will have to deliver. Good luck, my daughter. You will wish you had exterminated them all when you had the chance.
As far as the District 1 goes, what is it that you need for me to destroy there? Everything?
All of his seed.
All of his seed.
And all of the eggs of his bloodline. Consider it like stomping out a nasty colony of ants.
Clementine, that's something I might need your help with. Is that agreeable with you?
I think that we need to start with the laboratory up there.
Yeah. I
Start
have
right
a
there
feeling.
from there.
Burn it down! Burn it all down!
I have the feeling that is a place that is offensive to your beliefs in any case. So
Don't consider my priorities to be first in line. As I said, you'll live for a very long time, Solandra. And I am very patient.
So it did not manage to completely destroy your spirit. It has been functional up to this point. I thought I might have to pull the pieces of you back together from here.
No, please, I just died. I've been in the afterlife observing all of the things above and below.
Fuck, they said that they repurposed your soul.
They
I
can't
guess
be
they're exaggerating their capabilities.
bold of you to assume that you're there, Solandra. Pinch yourself. Are you dreaming?
Have you figured out where you are yet, Mom?
Sorry, she looks away as if to say, "Oh, she is definitely my daughter." Do you mean in this plane or on another?
Well, this place is on Septemport, but it's not completely on Septemport.
Right. I'm on the material plane. That much I know. But I'm someplace locked. But I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't know where I am on either side.
Well, that's very interesting then. So then we have a deal?
We have a deal.
Holt, will you fucking stop snoring? Tender reunions. So, yeah. I'm not going to talk about what happened after you left. I figure you probably have some idea.
I have a good idea, yes. Uncle was good help, Aziz was a great teacher, but you naturally got into trouble.
What did he say? What'd she say?
Uncle was a good mentor, Aziz was a good teacher, but you inevitably ran into trouble.
Who's Uncle?
Oh, Uncle is the guy who takes care of all of the orphans in Oasis.
Oh yeah, I was with him for like a week. Didn't see much of Uncle. The slavers made sure of that.
Exactly. Shortcuts. Sloppy.
That wasn't my shortcut.
Please. You were basically asking to be picked up. You're reckless. It's a Batalis curse. But it's something you need to recognize.
Says the lady who went up the mountain by herself.
Yup! Self-observation. The Batalises don't do it.
Hubris, thy name is Mom.
Oh no! You're calling her out.
But I guess belief in hubris believes, you have to have some belief in fucking gods, which I guess you probably don't have more than I do, so.
Wrong.
You're devout?
Hardly. But knowing that there is something out there that's more powerful than you is hardly foolish.
I always knew there was things more powerful than me. Lots of them.
But these things are on another level. You refer to them as cosmic parasites, and you're not wrong, but to withhold your respect seems a little foolish.
Like you said, it's Batal's curse.
It strikes us all, but I never expected you to hold it so greatly.
Well, I was still just a little bun that hadn't been baked yet.
I thought your father would temper that out of you. Hardly.
So you're just gonna throw the father thing out there and not give me any more information?
Why, what do you want to know?
Who the fuck he is?
Who? No. Of course not. That would give away the game. I'm not here to answer questions.
How about this? Have I met him?
You have? But I wonder, why do you care? He had no influence on your life, save through the genes in your body.
Well, it means I can freely screw any elven man I want to once I know which one not to. I've been very fucking hesitant in that regard since it's a big open field. It's like, I wonder if my mom would have screwed this guy. Yeah, probably. So...
Well, I'm sorry. You'll just have to avoid all the interesting elven men you ever encounter.
Yeah, so far that's a pretty small category anyway.
They are very rare. And your father got very old very quickly.
Just as long as he's not some filthy monk, I'll be okay.
No. Please, I protected myself from them.
All right. So you offered a lot. What is it you're gonna give?
You know, she in-game expresses, "Motherfucker, I'm an 18th level wizard." Like, you just have an 18th level wizard around now. An 18th level wizard ghost with she doesn't know literally every spell, but she knows a lot of fucking spells.
This makes things interesting. So I'm just gonna be carrying around that negative level for a while then.
Yep.
Okay. Solander looks a little drawn. All right. Well, since you're here, maybe you can help with this. I reach out for the tarot deck. I pull out one of Auntie's cigarettes. All right, no, I'm gonna wait on that. Can you tell me anything about what's going on with Daskius and Selena and all those? Is that information that you can share, considering it helps in your cause?
Fair enough. They're currently fleeing screaming from the graveyard.
Still?
Well,
Fucking long.
they realized that your ship was a fake, and now most of their expeditionary force has perished.
Well, it's nice when a plan works.
But he will be terribly furious.
That will make him even more foolish than he is.
It will make him more reckless. Consider those who live nearby.
True. That's a fair fucking point.
He has munitions enough to destroy 2 more cities, I would dare say. And he might very well do it.
So the question is, do we need to deal with him directly, or can we do the next thing on our hit list?
Depends on how many innocent lives you want him to claim. If
Fucking
you,
none.
then I suggest that you disable his ship in some capacity.
Do you have any suggestions in that regard?
Sadly, no. I tried to distance myself from chosen technology as much as possible. That being said, it's susceptible to electricity as well as many other elements. If it breathes, it will burn. And considering his ships are constructed of bioengineered Helgak, they burn very readily.
They're still. Oh wow! I didn't realize that. I thought that was just a hack that Grub had to use.
Oh, no. Your ship is very much alive, as well as theirs.
Huh.
Clem, you okay with that?
Huh. Well? Huh.
The fuel is essentially food. Cheaper that way.
Wow. All right. Gather around, ladies. Let's see if we can find something useful. I'm gonna look at the cards from the previous reading before I do a new one. I'm gonna take out one of Auntie's cigarettes, and I'm going to smoke it as I look at the reading.
What
Ooh,
was...
fancy.
So step one, what was... Oh, there we go. So the first one was 3 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. Disharmony, misalignment, working alone. Manifestations, opportunity, developing your skills. Carrying the burden, completing your task. That's what it was previously. And that was like the past, the present, and the future. Like what you've been doing, what you need to do, what you're going to do.
Yep, got that part already.
Okay. What are you thinking about while you draw?
All right, the best approach to defeating Daskius and bringing Selena to our side.
I see.
I am sorry, I'm trying to stack the deck a little bit between artifact, doing it here, and smoking one of Auntie's cigarettes. I hope that's
You are stacking
ever
the
you're
deck
going to,
so much.
Get a hint, you're kind of covering all of your bases.
well, you guys have secret plans all the time.
What, me? Fuck no, I'm dumb as a rock.
Sorry, I gotta do some research real quick.
You're fine. If you could type them in when you choose them, I can make another image.
Sounds good. The first card is... let me double check it. Just to make sure everything's on the level.
I have to assume that these cards are like more effective than your standard tarot deck in some way.
They are super effective. Ooh.
So sometimes tarot decks just work better because you have just a better connection with the cards or whatever.
Moon.
And sometimes decks are like huge bitches. So this deck just really likes you.
The first card, representing the past of the situation, is the 5 of Wands.
Upright or no?
It is upright.
What was your exact goal again? How to deal with Daskius?
Yes, how to deal with Daskius and bring Selena to our side. Which, doing the first without getting the second isn't very useful to us. We need some...
The second is the 5 of Swords upright. And the second and the third card is also the 5 of Swords, but it's reversed. And the image of the 5 of Swords has been altered. So the 5 of Swords indicates one person who is wielding the swords and another person who is walking away. And the person who is wielding the sword... so the traditional image is one person who's far off, one person who's walking away, and one person who's wielding the sword. In the third image, Daskius is wielding the sword, Selena is walking away, and Kira is weeping. And the image of the image of Selena walking away is walking towards the weeping Kira. The 5 of Swords. Conflict, disagreement, defeat, winning at all costs. Reversed, reconciliation, making amends, resentment.
Do not aspirate.
Don't try to breathe Jägermeister.
Do not.
It
That
burns
is
all.
not oxygen.
It burns all the way down.
And then all the way back up.
Mother of God. Ugh. Sorry, Cap. Once again, I presented a tarot reading that's literally impossible.
Are you sure about that? Because give me a
Okay.
fucking second.
No,
This is a surprise.
Oh man. Oh boy. Cap pulling out all of the decks.
This is what happens when you let Holt leave Holt to sleep. Cap needs something, needs a project.
Listen.
He's like, I will create, damn it! Excuse me.
And as you consider the meanings of the page, while you are smoking this beautiful, fantastic, delightful cigarette, the meaning of the work comes to you very quickly. But I'm interested to see how Cap represented it.
I mean, it's not going to be that fancy, but
It doesn't matter.
I am spitting in your face for making it impossible.
Spit in my face. Fucking throw an egg right in my mouth, fam. Please don't. I don't want to eat a raw egg, like, ever.
We don't really want to eat the shells either. That'd be awful.
Don't. Not even once.
It's got tons of calcium.
You're not a
Cap.
chicken. Yeah?
I'm sorry. I meant Pidge. Don't eat raw egg. Don't do it, fam.
Listen, my grandpa ate a raw egg every day with his breakfast, and he lived to be like 55.
Good Lord. Where's my switch? Blur.
Eliminate Daskius, eh? The Seven of Wands.
Should have made a small.
But so if the Five of Wands is the old card, it means that there have been conflicts, disagreement, tension, and diversity. I mean, think about it, Solandra. Did you really think that Tori, Selena, Daskius, and Pidge, what's the name of your girlfriend?
Myrna.
Myrna, do you think that the four of them were really gonna get along?
Frankly, Daskius always struck me as being a bit of a dimwit. I mean, a powerful dimwit who got his power largely by inheriting it,
You are correct, sir.
but not like a great thinker. And Tori's going to have nothing but contempt for him, and he's not the best at hiding that stuff.
You are correct, sir.
And then, of course, Mariner just sees him as being someone who's ripe for the picking in terms of manipulation, but is also probably worried about the fact that, he's so impulsive and prone to foolish decisions that there may not be anything left for her to use after it's over. So she's probably looking for an exit strategy.
You are correct, sir. Keep talking, fam.
Selena is the most enigmatic because she is, she seems like the perfect daddy's girl, and she is in line with perfect. But yeah, Daskis has probably shown her. She might be getting an inkling that Daskis doesn't give a fuck about her. And that might be something that's starting to bother her. That's the only wedge that I can think of, is the fact that I can't see Daskis seems like a perfect narcissist. He doesn't seem like someone who has any affection to give to anyone. So, and Selena seems like someone who, at the end of the day, is pretty needy, and that he's been dragging her in with that neediness, but there comes a breaking point to that, and he's probably not smart enough to know it.
You are correct, sir. Meanwhile, the Five of Swords represents conflict, disagreement, competition, defeat, winning at all costs. So what's going on here is definitely, like, Daskius will retaliate against the people of District 3 unless someone stands in his way to stop him. Meanwhile, the inverted Five of Swords is reconciliation, making amends, past resentment. There's one way to... There are a few ways to get through this, and one way to get Selena on your side. You have to make her feel sorry. And what choice does Kira always offer her opponents?
Redemption.
Salvation or damnation.
Ding, ding, ding. And if you brought that to Selena, which do you think she would choose?
Salvation.
She would crawl to your arms like a weeping child.
That would be a sight.
Christ, your head is spinning. But obviously you're going to have to defeat her first.
And so that means that Daskis is heading to Wind City. It's the only it's the only great city of District 3 standing. What about is the weapon ready?
You don't know, and the cards don't say. You didn't ask about that.
Do I have enough for another reading?
You do not. And when you try to pick up the cards, they feel heavy.
I think that's all I'm getting out of it today. All right, with the last of my, last dregs of my cigarette, I look at my mom really deeply, and I try to figure out if she actually gives a fuck about me.
How much does a scientist give a fuck about her experiment?
Sometimes quite a bit.
Exactly. Every one of her progeny was an experiment, and she is always excited to see the results. But let's hop over to Holt.
Do what now? Oh, come on, I'm just having a peaceful nap.
Sorry, Holt. No nap for you.
Mm.
You know what happens when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
He's in a holy place, though.
Oh, you know what? That's true. It's time for things to get a little warped.
Don't go desanctifying Kira's sanctum.
I hope not.
Holt. Hey, do you remember when Armstrong got bombed?
Fuck you.
But what's Bowman doing there?
Oh, no.
No, yes. He clutches you to his side like a damsel in distress and raises his shield above his head to protect you from the bombing. The golden light that comes from him envelops the neighborhood, and there are some survivors at least. And as he holds you to his side, he just says, "You damn fool boy," he says with a smile on his face. "What were you thinking? You've taken the castle, but now who will man it?" And before he's able to properly explain the nature of his sentiment, you come to. Holt.
Yeah.
Did you indeed last session pledge your service to Leviathan?
No. Leviathan offered me help and I took the hand.
Did you pledge your service to Leviathan?
No. Not in those exact words.
You're right, not in those exact words, but do demons ever care about the word of your agreement?
No, it's more about the feeling, isn't it?
Exactly.
Then I guess, yeah.
Did you accept Leviathan as your Lord and Savior?
I did.
At least
And it worked pretty great.
At least a little bit. You don't need to go full Leviathan. But if there is a bathtub for Leviathan and a bathtub for Legion, you have 1 foot firmly in the Leviathan bathtub. And the water is hot and nice. You've acquired a new ability.
Have I?
Regeneration 1.
Oh. Okay.
And that might not seem like much. But consider what it means to be able to regenerate any wound.
Any wound.
Any wound. If they don't kill you, you'll make them wish they had. Cut off an arm? It's back in a day. Cut off your legs? Back in 3. You regenerate attributes at a rate of 1 per attribute per hour instead of 1 per attribute per day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that something?
Ain't that a thing? Because,
Thank you,
Holt,
Mr. Leviathan, sir.
Leviathan never really dies. Chop it to pieces, and it will still grow to hate you. That being
I
said,
share some of that sentiment.
that being said, you come too.
Great.
Your heart doesn't feel bad. You don't feel tired at all. You feel well rested, actually. You needed that.
Clementine?
She's there patting your hand.
Oh, shit. How long was I out?
It's been like 40 minutes.
Barely an hour.
Hey, Holt.
Hey.
Holt, this is my mom.
And kind of blinks to focus his eyes.
She waves her fingers at you, and there's a look on her face of undisguised lust.
Hmm.
Jeez.
And I have to still be dreaming.
It's the only explanation.
This is Nikolai Holt. He's the master of everything here except for this particular room.
Yeah, that's about it. Ma'am.
Interesting. Bold. You look at the crown. You look at the throne, and then you sit on it.
I mean, if it's empty.
But what would you do if it was full?
I think I've answered that question.
Exactly. I don't like that answer. Now get up. We have business to attend to.
All right, I get up. This isn't my bed, though it was comfortable for 40 minutes.
It was super comfy.
Yeah, Kira says you're welcome.
Thanks, Kira. And thank you, Solandra.
So yeah, sorry for springing the whole mom thing on you, but the opportunity presented itself.
No, that's fine. What am I to say about it?
And just between us, she's a little bit of a bitch.
Oh, is it hereditary?
Yeah,
He says with a smile.
I think it gets worse as you get older too.
Ooh. Well, at
And
least I'll
she's
die before then.
and she's really fucking old.
That being said, guess who doesn't have many ranks in perception?
Is it her?
It's her. She is like...
Once,
I was gonna say she was fascinated with the mirror, but there's no mirror for her to be fascinated with. She's just sort of tracing the walls.
I'm certain there's an impression there from where it was hung for hundreds of years.
There is.
Once more for my notes, what is her name?
Atrial Batalis.
Atrial.
Atrial Batalis.
Which just means that who came of Atrial.
Oh, Elvish.
Oh, Elvish. Actually, it's Laputian. But, you know, whatever. Who's keeping track?
I have one rank in linguistics.
No, it's the fake language that was used in the English dub of Laputa Castle in the Sky, which means it's Laputian, but it's Elvish. Today, we all Elvish. That being said, while you guys consider your next immediate move, like what the fuck you're gonna do with this fucking castle, I'm gonna go piss.
Oh, do you mean the dialogue that I was writing for the entire time that we were having that discussion?
Yes!
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I also have a pretty significant question for you, Ronald, that I'm sure is gonna be interesting response.
I'm gonna pour myself some vodka. Anyone else want some?
Maybe.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second so I can toot my snoot.
Dave, do you remember what kind of weird snake demon was at the gate?
Is that what gate?
Of the fortress.
Oh yeah, sure. She was a type 5 Lamasu. I think I'm getting the name wrong. I'll know it. Oh, Merilith demon.
Merilith, yes, thank you. I knew it started with an M.
Yeah, yeah.
Merilith. Thank you.
Mhm. Yep. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. There's some nice pictures of them online. They're among my favorite demons, actually. Just a lot more interesting than Balor. Yeah, that was one of the first Pathfinder characters I created. Was a tiefling paladin whose ancestor was a Merilith. Back when I was thinking about playing Glorian setting.
Is everyone present and prepared?
Pidgey here.
I just sat back down.
So you're all there and ready.
Can I run a heal check on Holt real quick?
Do it.
A 23.
There's no way he should have recovered that quickly.
Does
But-
he seem okay hit point wise?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
shockingly.
Huh.
That being said, halt. So, having regeneration 1 means you'll regain 1 hit point every round. So every 10 seconds, you gain 1 hit point.
I am full up except for my ability damage.
Right, and that will come back over a series of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Hours instead of days.
We already healed you with our respective abilities.
Yeah,
right?
I know. I took a fuck ton of ability damage.
And you did as much as you could.
Yeah.
Mostly, the big thing was you took care of the, what was it? Vial damage?
Yes.
Yeah, you took care of that for me, which is the only thing that I needed help with, really.
Well, it was really this room that took care of it, I think.
Eh.
Well, in 10 hours, I will be completely fine.
Yep. Consider, he should be laid out for a week. And that's a miracle. 10 hours? Yeah, I'm fine. Not like I can get on my feet, but like, no, I'm at 100%. Also, Holt, because you have regeneration, you're immune to bleed attacks. If I tell you you take 12 bleed damage, you take it once. And then your holes close the fuck up.
That makes 3 items that are for resisting bleed. And one of them is my body.
And like when it comes to your regeneration, you can restore lots of things. Like if your arm gets chopped off, if you hold the arm to the stump hole for long enough, it'll put itself back together.
I'm feeling very good about the choice that I made at present.
It's a pretty good choice.
It's good for a fighter.
It's very good for a fighter. But
About to fight someone who does a fuck of a lot of bleed damage.
but I
I
think
wouldn't have had a problem with her as I was, but now.
I think
She's about to have troubles with me.
I think in the future, Holt, you'll find that you yourself are spread a little thin. Nikolai Holt, tell me, how many of you are there?
1.
And that's a liability. Moving on.
Okay. Take a
No,
sip, babe.
no matter what choice you make, I will make you regret the other.
Understandable.
Have a nice
That's the way
day.
it should be.
Exactly. Because, I mean, like, Pyre taught us that sometimes there is a right decision and there's a wrong decision. And then other times, it's wrong decisions all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
Or right, but I know you're a pessimist, so you'll blame yourself. Fucking got him!
Less now than before.
But, yes, there is an entire castle full of demons that is probably wondering what the fuck happened to their boss.
Well, I suppose I should talk to them, shouldn't I?
Mom,
Mm-hmm.
can you let Holt speak Abyssal?
You poor, foolish little boy. You die and come back and neglect your linguistic studies. Your dark father would be disappointed.
For many reasons, but I guess not knowing a language is least among.
I assume you'd rather talk to them directly. I can still translate for you if you want.
Oh, I would actually much rather talk to them directly if that's all right.
She walks up to you, Holt, and as you're rising out of bed, she gives you a delightful love tap across the face, conferring the tongue spell for 36 hours.
Oh.
And
Alright, well, thank you much.
Holt, do you have damage reduction?
No.
Okay, you don't
Several resistances.
You don't have literal damage reduction. You've got a lot of resistances. You've experienced so much pain in your life, but that slap, that stung. It stung good.
Rub my cheek and kind of narrow my eyes at her with the ghost of a grin.
Jeez, I didn't know that ectoplasm could be slutty.
You fool! How many Batala spawn do you think there are, Salandra?
I look over to Salandra a little guiltily. Right.
I was about to say,
So-
don't tell me Holt doesn't like it.
Oh, he does.
I was about
a
to
little
say.
too much.
I was about to say. If he doesn't, I'll eat my hat. The whole fedora.
Oh, you don't need to. You know how he feels about powerful women.
What can I say?
So is Holt gonna get the ghost fucker achievement?
Well, I mean, Clementine already got it from. So what's the point?
It's true.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wait, which ghost did Clementine
Wait, when
bang?
did I fuck a ghost?
In the fortress the first time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you totally
yeah.
banged that ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I totally forgot about that.
Totally
How did you
forgot
forget about it? It
too.
was hot as fuck.
I
Totally
know-
forgot.
I don't even remember who that ghost was. Weren't they from
I
below?
don't think she said.
No, didn't it turn out to be someone who was there when we went to visit your former character in his weird realm?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because one of the
yeah.
gates was open, and she's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, I'm a little desperate."
was it like the poet spirit?
It was the poet, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's right.
I have a mind like a steel trap.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
You have a mind like a steel trap, but do you have a mouth like a silver surfer? Fuck. Shit.
Oh, shit. You messed up your own joke. I'll laugh anyway.
Yes, pretend like I'm funny. Stroke my ego, please. It needs it. Anyway, so Holt, what do you do?
So am I speaking abyssal? I say in abyssal to Solandra?
Well, you're speaking universal, pretty much.
Yeah, you're speaking Omnothian.
Oh,
Everything
well, that's
can
less
understand
exciting.
you, and everything can understand you, and you can understand everything.
Oh, well, will the threats still work?
Oh my god, the
Shit.
threats will be super effective. Because they will hear whatever is most threatening.
So Solandra just goes and starts talking to him in sentences constructed from celestial, abyssal, draconic, and like a complete word mash of different languages. And like he understands every word, and like Clementine's like, what the fuck?
And like, despite the grammatical differences, it still forms into a slightly coherent sentence.
Huh. I could get used to this, but it's weird.
Well, there are ways of making it permanent, but I'm not sure if I can do that for someone else.
No, thank you.
Not yet.
Atriel side-eyes you and just says, I could cast it more.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Of course not, Holt. You rarely do say no.
Alright, where's that fucking Meredith?
Mom, no side deals. Fuck.
You say no side deals, and she follows it up with no promises.
Yeah.
So are you a permanent addition to our merry band?
Yes, functionally. Unless I am banished or otherwise destroyed. But thanks to the bond my daughter has made, it can be reforged quite easily.
Alright.
I shall return every day after 24 hours and 1 minute have elapsed.
Good deal.
Very.
I mean, Solandra, you could push yourself, but like, if you unless you want this one negative level to turn into many negative levels, you'll wait a day.
Yep. Well, I think we're going to need you when we tackle Vasquez's ship. I trust you know some ways of fucking with technology.
Electricity is always effective. Machines hate it. And electricity was always my specialty.
Yeah, I know. Got a little bit of that.
Electricity. I do want to take a moment to take a look at Audra.
What are the enchantments? What were the enchantments of Audra?
Audra was a +5 shocking burst, thundering, impervious bastard sword.
Audra is a +5 unholy burst, vile impervious longsword.
Vile?
Vile. Let me look up what the thundering enchantment does, and I will find a vile equivalent.
Thundering only happens on a crit. It's a D8 of sonic damage and has a chance to permanently deafen the person.
Got it. So, it's no longer thundering, it's no longer vile, it's screaming. It's functionally equivalent, but also allows you to make an automatic intimidation roll.
Oh, fuck yes.
That's really cool.
You turned your beautiful, clean storm weapon into like Stormbringer. Yeah. You've tainted your blade.
Eh.
That's what I had to
She's
be done.
fucking Hellscream now.
Gore Howl was the name of Hellscream's weapon.
Nice.
Just for history's sake. That being said, like, yeah, no, this thing, like, it whispers blood and darkness. You have heard of angry steel, but you have never seen such so furious.
Takes a deep breath and sheaths the blade. It is a little bit of a blow to see her so changed, but he figures that, well, nothing really stays the same. I've changed myself, so.
About to say, you rationalize it instantly. She only changed to suit you. She wanted to make you happy. She wanted to make you proud.
So creepy.
I mean, she's only got a +2 left in her before she's maxed, so this is a very magical weapon. There's a bit of personality there, but there always was. Alright, I'm ready.
Sounds good.
Maybe, maybe you should find a soul to shove into her.
I don't think I've fallen that far, Salandra.
Do
I
a
might be
pussy.
tempted with Doskius. but-
Salandra wouldn't actually say that.
Okay.
Don't be a pussy, Holt. Just do it.
I wouldn't know how.
Just do it. Quit talking about it and just do it.
Okay.
Science
We'll put
isn't
it on the hold broiler.
Do not put fucking Daskius in there.
about to say that's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
What you need to find is a willing victim. I mean volunteer.
I mean... No. No. No, hard stop. We're going to move on.
How much are you willing to pay for power?
I have enough right now, thank you. When I need more, I know what to do.
I have no need for cowards that use the word enough. But we'll get to that later.
Yes, a Gorgon priestess would certainly amp. Yep.
That's not exactly.
I'm not saying no.
That's
I'm
not-
saying not now.
That wasn't what I was aiming for, but oh dear sweet God, if you could get her to agree. That's like rolling a +18 on the sacrifice table.
Yep. You would turn Audra into an artifact.
I would.
Forget about the +10. You blow through +10.
Holt's excruciator.
Yeah, of
There's
course,
a
the
better
only,
name than that.
the only problem is the ego of that sword would be like a 50, and Holt would be a helpless pawn.
Oh, that's true. At that point, Holt becomes excruciator, the character. Beep boop,
Old
son.
just becomes Arthas.
Beep boop, son. Beep boop. Arthas, but like way cooler though.
Yeah.
Fuck this ice shit. Fuck this pussy ice shit. Anyway, so you go back up the stairs and go back into Grot's like pleasure chamber, and man, it looks lame now that he's not here anymore.
Well, there's a whole bunch of Baylor on the floor and
Fuck, I
the
wish we could
fountain.
save those girls.
Oh no, they're all so fucking dead. He cannibalized them immediately to fix himself.
There's nothing even left to save.
Coward.
Demons aren't known for being brave. But you know what they say, Holt? Evil never dies. That being said, the grandeur of this like throne room has greatly diminished with his departure. Now it seems drab in comparison.
I think you have to fucking fumigate this place. Get all the slime and
I can
other
delegate that.
fluids out of here. You know, most of your people you delegate to have a lot of slime and weird fluids too. Just saying.
I think that maybe some of those flying ones might be able to reach the bits of dripping ichor that got on the buttresses, but I wouldn't really know. Soon it won't be my problem.
Well, you better go kick some tail.
Alright. I would like to trace the path back to the front doors where I'm thinking that the Merilith still is.
I'm about to say,
Along
she
with-
should still be out front.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
You might want to be carrying Audra naked at your side.
Oh.
It's kind of your symbol.
I'm about to say, like, Audra now bends the light that comes near her.
Take her
I
out
think-
and hold her in my hand.
Poor thing.
And if you put your ear to the blade, you can hear the muttering of the damned. It only rises to a fever pitch when you critically hit.
I think that's your fucking calling card with your servants. Holt, I'm not fucking comfortable with this.
You don't have to be. But I got results.
Yeah.
I'm going to whisper the power word to Audra so that the unholy energy ripples across it.
So like, it's not unholy insofar as it does good damage to creatures. Its unholy burst means that it does an extra D6 of unholy damage, which is just like irresistible to most creatures. And it will deal an extra 2d6 points of, 2d10 points of unholy damage if you critically hit. I'm sorry, only 1d10 because the times 2 crit. But still.
Yep.
It does extra irresistible damage. What does it do damage
I'll
to?
take it.
Everything.
What does it do damage to? Yes.
Yes. But it does, the unholy damage doesn't overcome hardness. So you won't do extra damage to like rocks or wood or Connor.
Or demons and devils, for that matter. I don't think.
Actually,
They're damaged by good, right?
but nothing can resist the unholy power. That being said, unholy does not work against undead.
Fair enough.
Whoopsie-doo. Aha! I filled you with the power of unholiness! And the zombie's like, shrugging, like holding its hands up, like,
Already there.
already there, hoss.
That being said, it is still made out of cold iron.
That's true. Which means you can kill Fae with impunity, you monster.
And Bodax.
That's true. That's true. I remember. You guys are fighting Bodax, and Holt was like, I can damage them, and I was like, fuck you.
And then you put it on top of a mausoleum that I couldn't get up to, you fucking bastard.
Hey man, throw your sword, don't be a pussy. Look, Baldo throws his weapons all the time.
Or just fucking learn to fly like everybody else. Jeez.
No, Holt hasn't grown his wings yet. Anyway.
We're just gonna go right back out through the front doors.
You go back out through the front door. Everybody make a perception check.
Sure. I should get my dice out.
You should get your fucking dice out, man.
I was napping for the first half of the session. Like,
So I just wasted a natural 20. That's always a good use of one.
31.
That makes a 40.
What'd you get, Cap? I didn't hear you.
oh, 14.
Okay.
You know, normal person numbers.
Got it. Man, it kind of reminds me. In Evil Game 2, Norman's character, Armon, he was a knight, I think? Yeah, he started off as a death knight and then just moved on to a regular knight or something like it. And he had no ranks in perception. So, by the end of the game, I had 27 ranks in perception, and our Kitsune friend had another, 27 ranks in perception and some racial bonuses. So we're like, I can see an invisible creature with my bare eyes. And he's like, I don't see a rat sneaking up on us. I don't hear it, man. Anyway, so Solandra, as you guys are approaching the gate, you can hear and understand the demons that are out there. And there is a small hullabaloo going on, a small discussion. It's like, should we go in there? And the Merilith is like, no, we weren't ordered to go in there. If we were ordered to go in there, we'd have gone in there to help. but Gratz was specific in his commands not to disturb him.
So they're having a little chat in the antechamber.
Oh, good.
Merilith is keeping them from coming in. Apparently, Gratz's last orders were to keep them to stay for them to stay out there.
Yeah, she's definitely the one that I want to talk to.
Yeah, let's face facts. She's the one you want to screw, but you know.
I said talk to. I'm capable of having. I'm not going to get into this right now.
To which Atriel follows it up with, "Good. I hate to watch you lose, Halt."
Oh.
I told you she's worse than me.
Focus, one thing at a time. Push open the door.
You push open the door, and oh lord, there she is.
Demons. Are any of the flappy ones, with the vulture faces around?
There are definitely some Vrocks around. Vrocks are fucking everywhere. If you open up a portal from the abyss, Vrocks are like the first to show up.
So how high is the charisma of a Merilith, just out of curiosity?
Let me look it up. What's your modifier on knowledge planes? Because you probably know.
My modifier is like a 25 plus 25. I think. Let me see.
So a Merilith's charisma is second in their attributes only to
25.
her constitution.
So in other words, even though they're multi-armed snake bitches, they're really fucking hot.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you don't think that's hot? I think that's hot.
We all
That's
know
pretty
you think
hot.
that's hot, Cap. Also, apparently there is a variant for a 12-armed, two-headed Merilith. Just in case you wanted to die immediately.
That's what happens when you split, when you cleave a Merilith from the head down to the snake body, and you don't finish it off.
Yeah, holy fucking shit.
That's a lot of swords, man.
That's a lot of fucking swords, bro.
Too many swords.
No, the too many swords is... here we go. Too many...
It's gonna be that 100-armed thing, isn't it?
You are correct!
Yep.
Oh yeah, those guys.
This is too many swords.
We're just not gonna even deal with that.
You're
now
right.
At all.
You don't.
Ever.
You successfully failed to deal with that.
It's always a problem in Greek mythology trying to figure out how those fucking things actually worked. So
Don't worry about it.
I'm going to gesture with my new cursed unholy blade towards one of the rocks. Say you. To get its attention. Baylor made an awful mess in the throne room. Go clean it up.
Make an intimidation roll.
I would love to! Oh, I only rolled a 5, so I guess that's a 33.
33. Yep. So you say that to the Vrock, and the Vrock says, "Fine, half-breed." And flaps in.
that sounded disrespectful.
It did.
It did.
How close is it?
Well, it's flying by you right now.
Within attack range?
Definitely within attack range.
I'm gonna aim for one of its wings.
You can aim for one of its wings. Make an attack roll at a -4 penalty.
Sure. $43 to hit.
Oh, that's a hit.
For,
I mean, you could make an improved vital strike.
Oh, you mean a greater vital strike?
I mean, whatever level of vital strike you want to employ. The sky's the limit.
This isn't a time for half measures.
You're right.
If you're
Give
gonna
me-
make
You
a
have, to,
point.
you have to make an example.
2, 3 d10s, 4 d10s, plus 18, plus 6. So that's 45 points of slashing damage and 5 points of unholy damage.
So,
And if it has DR, it ignores 10 of it.
oh, well then, never mind. What allows you to ignore DR?
Penetrating strike greater.
Yep, that's the one. All right, yep, nope. You just chop one of its wings straight off and it flops to the ground with a hiss and a scream. And the other demons are torn between, whoa, that's fucked up, and like, oh, shit. All right, Haas, whatever you say. Making another intimidation roll at a plus 10 penalty, with a plus 10 bonus. A plus 10, I'm not fucking around bonus.
Okay. 46.
Okay, the rest of the demons, with the exception of the Merilith, are sufficiently cowed.
Now walk.
It limps back there to go clean up the Baelor viscera.
Mm-hmm. I nod and turn to the Merilith. This fortress belongs to me now.
The Merilith, like, nods and says, very well then, my lord.
I give a slight nod of approval at being called that. I look her up and down critically, just letting a few moments pass. Trying to pass it off as concentration or thought, not a lingering headache from my transformation.
Right.
Alright. You will suffice as a steward, Merilith. Hold the fortress.
Yeah.
Do not expand its territory.
Of course not. I would never
If any of
imagine
the
doing
caravans
such a thing.
from Terra Nova are foolish enough to stray this close to the fortress, they're yours. But you're forbidden from luring them in.
Very well then.
If you, or any of the demons here, disobey me, not only will I know, but I will personally track you to whatever snake hole you call home, to turn you inside out like I did your dear prince. Am I understood?
Absolutely, my lord. Any disobedience will be dealt with harshly.
Very well. Look to my companions. We'll be in touch.
Very well then, my lord.
Ezro. The gate.
Like the giant blubbering creature, as soon as you mention its title, is like, oh fuck, what do you want? And you're like, the gate, and it's like, the what? And it looks over at the gate, and it's like, it takes a second for it to connect what you want, and it's like, oh shit, and just runs over and picks the door up, and like before he like haphazardly like picked up the gate and like made you like lean over to get underneath, but now he like picks it up and holds it up over his head with his arms as stretched up as high as they can, and he just holds the position waiting for you to walk underneath.
Ladies first.
Lord Holt, perhaps you should find the names of your servants in case you have need in the future.
I only need the name of one. And he looks to the Merilith.
Ooh. Hit me with that random demon name generator. Fuck yeah! My name is Dalgon, my lord.
Delgon. I'll remember that.
When do we want? What do we want? Xenu! When do we want it? 10 billion years!
Doggone. Oops.
I give my mother a surreptitious wink.
She just sort of like shrugs and tilts her head. Like, whatever. I'm not in charge here. You guys do whatever you want. But she mouths a single word. Salandra, roll linguistics.
That's a 21.
Thank you. Holt is ready to leave if y'all are.
Oh, I assumed you'd already hit the road and these conversations
good.
were simply occurring.
All right, good. I had hoped that we weren't just standing there awkwardly in the courtyard.
No.
Good.
No, we walk out of there like badasses.
You are joined by a cat.
Hey. Oh, hey, this is my mom.
He nods.
Mom. Fuck buddy.
What a curious
Meeting the family
creature.
already.
I had only heard rumors about the things that lurk below. About the cat prince of crime.
He preens so much.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, yeah. He is going to be rubbing up against legs.
Well, all that happened.
That's true.
Whew.
You're sure? You sure you don't want to just fucking purge them from the fortress? I know that you have influence over them, but they're demons. They're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Unfortunately, this is half of what I guess is my domain.
Well, Holt, you did very well.
All I can say is you can show no mercy with them. They're not you know, if they step an inch out of line, you have to destroy them.
Oh, did I not?
I know. That was the right thing to do. But fuck. Dealing with them. Your back. Your back is only as safe as they are terrified of you.
That's true. They'll have to come back here or think of something else, but it's taken care of for now.
Holt adds another spinning plate to his pile of spinning plates.
I mean, we could always bring Doskius here for a little amusement.
No. Just, we're gonna purge him. He's a disease.
Mostly joking.
Fuck. Oh. As far as Daskius goes, Salandra flexes her hands, which still have the traceries of scars. As far as Daskius goes, I've got fucking dibs. And, yeah, my mom, too.
Oh, certainly.
Atrial quirks her head at an odd angle as if to disagree, but says nothing.
Yeah, what kind of grudge do I have against him? I mean, he's only the false scion of my god.
I just think he's kind of a prick.
Fucking Clementine playing the Captain America card. I just don't like bullies.
He smushed Salandra's hands for fun.
That's true. Just straight up for fun.
I mean, she was 5th level at the time, so...
The strong do what they will, and the weak suffer what they must.
So don't be weak.
As if it were that simple.
Eh.
Eh.
Doesn't have to be complicated.
So, where are y'all headed?
Oh, I bend over. I look around McCavity's neck. Is Toby still there, or is he?
Yes,
somewhere?
Toby is safe.
All right. I pluck him off and hand him with great ceremony to Clementine.
She gives a deep bow / curtsy, and transforms him back. Gives him a big hug.
And that's Toby.
Ah, yes, of course. Brought all the way from home. Certainly the most prolific of goats.
And the sweetest. And probably the hungriest.
Nah.
And by this point, probably the most powerful goat on Septemport.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Good boy,
But he
Toby.
always was.
Like Clementine, you've heard rumors of the giant cloud goats, but you know those things pale in comparison to Toby's power.
It's true. Toby's a fucking beast.
I mean, joking aside, I believe that Toby could probably defeat our original characters at this point.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah. Baby stats.
Behold, the cloud goat. Oh man, the Vitch was so good.
It
I
was
love
so
that
good.
movie.
So the best thing about that movie was how natural the dialogue sounded. Even though it was like super like
Scripted.
old-timey thee thou thy formal as fuck.
But they were all correct grammatically.
Yeah, and it was just so natural and
Which
and
movie
just-
was this?
The Witch.
The Witch.
The Witch.
It's pretty good.
2016.
Huh.
It was
It's on
very,
Netflix. I highly
it was
recommend.
very patient.
Is that the one with Nicolas Cage?
Nope,
No.
that's Mandy.
Oh, I think you're thinking of Mandy, which we
Which
still
I
have to watch,
haven't-
babe.
We do still have to watch. I have it on Blu-ray, and
Mandy
Who
is-
was the knight? Is this the one with a knight escorting a witch? Is
Nope.
it-
no.
Oh.
No, this is like there's a young woman coming of age and is being accused of witchcraft by her family.
It's
Yeah.
in 1630s New England.
Because they get kicked out of town for some reason, and they're shitty farmers, and shit starts going wild.
There you go.
My only complaint with it is that it sort of overplays its hand. Like, around the end when the literal goat shows up, and then shit starts going super wild at the end. Like, I feel like they could have done without that. Like, she could have just... the character could have just joined the coven, and they'd have all been like, welcome aboard. And they'd have been like, oh yeah, you know what, this is nice. And like...
This is real nice.
I think a more wholesome ending would have been better than literal floating witches drenched in blood.
I mean, maybe that's not what you wanted, but
I think there's something to be said with it about it being about corruption.
But is it? Because, like, the witches offer a better family than her family ever was. Because her family is playing fucking realpolitik, and she's trying to be friendly. Like, you ever fuck up and realize that your family is only bound to you by genetics, and if given the opportunity, they will turn on you in an instant without any remorse? Yeah, I felt that, like, every fucking day of my life.
I've only seen the movie one time, so I would need to like watch it more to be able to give you a good, honest debate.
Fair enough.
So I will simply say that's a really good take on it, and I would like to talk about this further once I've done some reading.
Got
yeah,
it.
put a pin in this. I would love to discuss it with you.
I'll be honest, I've never seen it. I've just listened to 4 reviews and 8 people talk about it.
Well, you're about to
Fair.
hear 9 people talk about it.
As usual, I have never seen it, but I know all about it.
Yeah. Renal, that's something that we frequently have in common. It's like, yeah, I remember that movie better than the people who see it, but I only saw the previews and read about it on Ain't It Cool News 20 years ago.
I'm glad I'm not the only one, because, like, I've seen, like, 3 in-depth analyses of Halloween. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, I used to be a real cinephile. I don't do any of the websites anymore, but I used to like be reading everything. You should have seen me before the Lord of the Rings came out. I was like obsessed for 2 years, following what they were doing in New Zealand. There's something going on in New Zealand.
What's he building in there?
Yeah, they when they showed the first sets, the photographs from Hobbiton, it was like, fuck.
Speaking of New Zealand, Par went out for New Zealand.
Or went out for New
I
Zealand.
went out for New Zealand.
Yeah,
Death to fascism. Fuck all Nazis.
It's that, you know, the United States as a source of cultural memes has been problematic, but this is entering new territory.
Mm-hmm. Never before have our memes traveled so far, so destructively. Yeah.
I mean, they explicitly said that they were inspired by us.
Yep.
Great.
And didn't they shout subscribe to PewDiePie before opening fire, or is that just a rumor?
Jesus Christ.
About to say.
No, that's true.
Oh my god. Okay. You know, I've heard like 3 real people say it, and I've read it in a couple of reports, and I'm willing to admit, I'm willing to believe that it's absolutely true.
Christ.
Subscribe to what?
PewDiePie, he's a YouTuber. He's a Nazi. He thinks holding up a sign upon which is written "Death to all Jews" is a joke. Like, that's just the joke. That's the whole joke. That's the punchline. It is the setup and the punchline. Kill all Jews on a sign.
I need more vodka.
Say nothing and drink to forget. Like, he's a real big Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson supporter. He's with that whole cabal, and he's the biggest YouTuber on the internet. And just like, I feel like I make videos in opposition to him. Like, every video I ever make about any subject is in gross opposition to that screaming imbecile.
It's amazing when the internet started, or the World Wide Web started at least. It was something that really only liberals knew anything about, and the good old days. But yep, that's not true anymore.
Where my leftists at?
Now it's a toxic waste dump.
It turned into a toxic waste dump pretty quick. It's just that they were hard to find. And now they're unlisted, but spilling out everywhere.
Yeah, the dark web is pretty, like, you know.
Oh, you don't even have to go to the dark web. Just go to 10chan. Child porn and Nazis for everyone.
Jesus Christ.
I heard something about did Tumblr actually ban all porn?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Twitter's well on the way.
Oh God, are you serious?
Yeah.
Can't a guy?
They already removed transparent images. You can't have transparent images there anymore.
Ugh.
On Twitter or Tumblr?
Twitter,
Oh, okay. I mean,
Which-
that's shitty, but
which is really big,
yeah. Why did they do that?
to save server space, I guess.
Because
Why don't they
Some
just delete the
bullshit excuse.
Nazis?
Because Paige, that would be hard.
it'd be so
Oh, that's right. I forgot
hard.
it's hard for AI to find Nazis, but AI can find boobies, and if I say all men are trash.
Yep.
And tag anything with any LGBT tag ever,
Yep.
and then it gets removed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reynold, we're demonetizing you.
But
Oh,
all of
no.
the gore that I blog on my blog is perfectly fine and untouched.
Now, Cap,
Yes.
I don't mean to demonize or speak ill of your pornographic preferences, but
Oh,
I
that's
would
fine.
I would like to think that LGBTQ topics are a little bit more wholesome than fucking vor.
Vor, gore, any combination of the above. But I can't have 2 women who love each other very much hold hands.
Nope, not allowed.
Talk to
Can't
someone
do
else.
it. Nope. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so gross. Oh my god, Cap.
Right?
Boobies
Boobies and gay people?
Of that
To
show,
say
man.
nothing of trans folks.
Oh, not allowed. Not allowed.
Unbearable.
Bold of you motherfuckers to assume that I'm even monetized. Ah,
Christ.
I don't even bother with that dumb shit.
Bless your integrity, sir.
Bless my fucking bleeding social anarchist heart. Woo!
Wasn't there a caravan of mithril that was lost around here?
There was, actually.
Well, weren't we sent to find that? And
No.
taking the fortress was a bonus?
Taking the fortress
No.
was the goal. Finding the mithril was the bonus. The other way around.
No, I mean, speaking in terms of what we talked to the Terra Nova captain about.
That's
No, because we were
I know
like,
what our motivation
no, because we were like,
We
do
never-
you want us to find it? How much will you give us for it? And she was like, and we're like, ah, fuck it, never mind.
well, no. She
Yeah.
asked you to deliver it, and Solandra was like, "I can teleport it, but I expect to get paid." And she's like, "Fuck off! You owe me. I'm not gonna pay you for what you owe." And you were like,
Well,
"Well, then I'm not even gonna do it."
What do we owe her? I don't understand why we owe her anything.
Clementine, what's the death toll? What's your death toll right now, Clementine?
Oh.
I mean,
Do you have the numbers?
I mean,
What's like 20,000 between friends?
roughly 10,000 died, but that wasn't all from the blood plague, and it wasn't all on our side.
Oh, 10,000 was the number of mutants dead. The total number
Oh.
of dead from the blood plague was 48,000.
Well, that's counting both sides, though.
No, it's not counting both sides. It's only counting
It's
yours
just a
because
statistic at that point.
because the blood plague only killed your side because the invading army
other
was
side
only
got
was-
murdered first.
All right.
right. They were only infected for a couple of hours.
All right. So whatever else we do, we can deal with that quickly. But we need to get to Wind City fast. I think that reading. We pretty much got our way with Daskius in terms of he did what we expected him to do. But now he's pissed and embarrassed and is feeling that little cock of his, and he wants to strike back and hurt us. And
I mean, I can get us to Wind City in.
Atriel pipes up and just says, "And what will you fight him with?"
Mm. Well, the thing we were planning on is not in Wind City. It's in District 2, and I'm not sure if it's finished.
I thought we got a message back.
That
Did we?
it wasn't finished.
Oh. When was that? Sorry, it's a little
Maybe
fuzzy up here.
a couple weeks ago.
That's
That
a
It
very
has to be
good.
done by then.
It was taking longer than expected.
Well, I guess the question is, we can choose to make a stand at Wind City, which could get really, really fucking ugly, or we can figure out some way of pulling him away from that.
The thing is that if we shouldn't make the stand at Wind City because Daskius would absolutely be willing to destroy the entire city with his airship.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Is it could be when I say fucking ugly, that's what I mean. Is that he will destroy the city around us. I'm not sure if we can defend it.
It's very interesting that you intend to fight him on the ground on your legs instead of in some sort of majestic chariot like his.
What I was meaning to say is that the only thing that's going to get him away from Wind City is the thing he's been seeking all along, which is the ship. So the only way we can redirect him is if we take the ship out of hiding and essentially announce ourselves.
Good.
And then we head to Grubb's tower and hope that fucking weapon is in good shape.
And if it's not?
And if it's not, then we're going to have to do something that's going to be painful. Most likely, we might have to do a run on the ship. I think the only weapon we have that could harm the dreadnought is our fucking ship itself.
Good girl.
Wait. When you say our ship itself, do you mean
I mean,
crashing the ship?
I can protect the ship for a while. I'm sure my mom has some tricks too. Enough that we could probably ram it.
Probably.
I could do some serious damage to the dreadnought on it.
Yeah, so can I, but it's a big fucking ship. I can probably breach its shields. I mean, they work kind of like my force walls, from what I understand. So I think I know a spell that can crack those, at least for a little bit. We can do some damage, but it's gonna need something big to break it.
Reynold, out of curiosity,
Hmm.
is summon a
Elder Purple Worm, is that something I have the spell, but am I allowed to use it?
Allowed to use it under what?
Am I allowed to use it like period?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I remember I wasn't allowed to like do the dragon shit because the dragons aren't
Yeah,
awake yet.
you gotta go find a dragon.
Right.
You have to have a dragon talk to unlock dragon power. But purple worms are known to exist in the wilds. Have you seen one? No. Have you felt one? No. Have you observed one through Gaia's mystic emanations? Yes. That being said, like, you can't just summon a purple worm in the air and drop it on something.
Could
Why
you summon
not?
it inside the ship?
No. You need a line of effect.
Oh.
Wait, I can't summon it in the ship?
No.
Oh, like, but what if I got on the ship?
If you got on the ship and in it, then yes, you could absolutely summon a giant purple worm to slither its way through this thing and start ripping shit up.
Sweet.
That'd be fun.
I could do that.
Core in the apple.
Wah!
Yeah, between that and any turning some metal to wood, I can also summon an elemental swarm. I'm not saying that I was gifted with the power of Gaia to specifically do this, but it's kind of my calling.
You have prepared long and hard for this. Oh, hey, elemental swarm. Well then.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yep.
Just alright. You do remember we fought an elemental swarm, or a couple of elemental swarms in the tomb.
Mhm.
And they're not indestructible.
Oh,
I mean,
certainly not, but on top of everything else, a pain
Yeah.
in the ass.
Certainly.
Here's
I
a
mean, it definitely. I just think that ship is. It's pretty fucking powerful even by these standards. So, but we can try it. I don't want to sacrifice our ship either.
Here's a pretty fucking cool piece of text from the elemental swarm spell. The elementals will obey you and will never, ever attack you, even if someone else manages to gain control over them.
That's right, Myrna.
That being said, she could totally use them to kill your friends.
Yeah.
Also, you don't need to concentrate or maintain control over the elementals. You can simply give them an order. And if they should become controlled, you can dismiss them instantaneously.
Well, get out of here.
Go home.
Yeah, fuck off, Myrna.
Go back to your boss. Alright, so where to and how so?
Do you want to deal with Terra Nova later? I'm not sure how imminent this attack is. It's probably not happening right now, but I'd hate to think that we mistimed it.
Clementine, can you send them an animal messenger so we can tell them what route to avoid?
Of course.
I would like to write them a note.
About to say, be careful how you phrase it.
Yeah. I know that they're heading towards the most expedient gate to District 6.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell them that they should probably try the other one, due to hazards.
Got it.
I'm taking a look with the goggles and seeing what the state of the sky is. Is this thing still a plume of evil energies?
No one says that. That's just me.
But nothing's changed?
Nope.
Hey, Holt.
Hmm?
You know that fucking miasma of evil that was driving people insane?
Yeah.
It's still coming out of your fucking fortress.
I didn't tell them they couldn't do that.
I mean, you can't stop them.
And it's like I need to focus on the things I can control, Solandra.
God damn it.
But
Alright.
they're not gonna be luring anyone in.
Yeah, but then people are still gonna randomly go berserk and kill their loved ones.
Lee City. He gives a shrug.
Fucking, I did my best. What do you want?
He did his best.
I don't think you fucking tried at all.
Ah, fuck.
If you want to prove your power, your power and authority, this is part of it. If you can't protect the people in your domain, then why do you have a fucking domain?
The fortress is my domain, not Terra Nova.
Well, this is the Hell Jungle. And the Hell Jungle is...
Do I rule the whole hell jungle? Did I miss that memo?
No, but you have a responsibility to it all.
I fucking don't.
And
Like,
Atriel,
let's
Atriel
be real
shrugs
here.
and just says, he doesn't.
So you're seriously not gonna even try to fix this?
not right now. No.
I chime in. I'm with Holt actually. We will come back and we need to, but there are way more lives at stake that are at stake right now.
Fuck.
We can have this fight later. I mean, if you wanted to rule the fortress the way that you want to, then you could slaughter a demon prince. And then you can tell me what to do.
I thought that this is something that we agreed on. This is one of our goals going in there, that this is a fucking bad thing.
It is a bad thing, but it's also in the nature of demons.
About to say, I'm gonna hold up a single finger and just say, you guys never agreed to fucking anything. You all went in there with your own separate ideas of what to do with it, what to do about it, how to do it, and what was right. There was no pursuit of consensus. You all literally assumed.
We didn't sign any contract. My conscience is clear. And he's going to continue walking just a few steps away. Because he realizes halfway through, like, the storming off that, oh, we're probably going to teleport someplace. Fuck.
We have to fix for the city first. Oh my god.
Solandra,
Yeah.
we can fix it.
And how many people are gonna die? Wow.
Well, a lot less than are gonna die in Wind City.
Yeah. I know.
You're so young, Solandra. It's admirable.
All right, let's get back to the ship. Can you send a message to Vendries and tell her to hurry the fuck up?
Absolutely. But I think it would be a quicker message to send it to her once we're in the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, monster.
No trees around there, so I guess that's. Unless, Mom, can you do this? Well, I guess we don't need to be quiet anymore, right? We're trying to get attention.
Essentially, yes.
All right, let's do this. Fuck. I teleport us to Armstrong.
Poof.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
So, Cap, do you want to let me? Do you want me to let you in on something about how I'm running things with you right now?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna type it because I don't want to say it.
Fair enough.
I just realized it today, and I was like, oh shit.
I hope Holt's alignment isn't neutral good anymore. That's all I have to say.
It's slipping.
It's slipping. I've been playing the slow burn, and I hope that it's.
Oh, it's showing.
Okay, good.
The slow boat to Hades.
Well, there it is, and that's exactly what I made him for.
Beautiful.
I all but telegraphed that at the very beginning, and you've had your hand on the hilt of that knife in my back ever since.
Beautiful. And here's the thing, I didn't even know I was doing it.
And that's how I know that we both did a good job.
I mean, Cap, we both share the same wound, and now we're rubbing them up against each other. It's kind of gross, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Good job, Riddle.
Good job, Cap. Mwah. Anyway, you teleport back to Armstrong. Poof! Smoldering ruin.
Ugh.
I don't imagine it smolders much anymore.
There's some
Smolders
fires
in
that
my
never
heart.
go out.
Alright, it's time to get that ship out of the fucking tunnel.
So, y'all go to the ship. Clementine, do you cast Womb of the Earth?
I do.
You create a delicious, delicious, juicy earth womb. And the ship flies out of it. When you all board, McCavity makes himself scarce. You know what? I'm just gonna roll a die.
Is all of our crew there?
Yep.
First thing I'm gonna do is find Taga and give him a big hug.
I was about to say, as you guys walk in on the gangplank, Taga is there carrying a barrel of vegetable matter. And he's just like, oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Hi, Taga.
Halt,
God,
is
it's
it
good to see you.
Halt, is it hug time?
Yes, please.
How big of a hug on a scale of 1 to 10?
I can't hold back.
Oh no.
How much time has passed?
It's been like
A couple hours? 1 hour? 2 hours?
Since your event, yes, it's been less than an hour. It's been like 10 minutes. Oh no, it's been an hour, Because you spent a
Okay.
long time talking to Atriel, and then you had some chats, and then you had some chats, and then you teleported. So it's been like literally an hour.
Okay, then I have 10 strength.
Hey! You give him a gigantic bosom buddy hug, knocking the barrel of vegetables out of his hands, and tackling him to the floor.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, and he's just full of giggles.
Yeah. I love my friend.
Best friend.
Which, you know, is a complete 360 from the almost argument we just had to this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
Do we see Grub around?
I was about to say, meanwhile, Grub is walking in an adjacent hallway, clutching his head.
Hey, Grub.
And he looks over at the three of you and he's like, oh shit, hey guys, what's up?
Hey,
You
Grub.
okay there, bud?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just had a massive headache. You know, a lot of lost time, but you know, nothing to worry about. I just can't remember okay, so I remember the last 3 days, but the last 6 days before that, all gone.
Does this seem more like the old Grub?
Yes.
How
I
are
mean,
you doing?
did he include a single dude, bro,
No.
bromide, or my doge?
Have you been able to sleep?
I mean, Alexander puts me down, and you know, between the series of electric shocks and lullabies, you know, I drift off eventually.
Hey, we went to Janarum. You'd have liked it.
Oh,
We'll go back there. We just made a peace between them, so they're gonna start working together. You'll be, after this is all over, you're gonna be the king of Janam and what's the name of the other city? Crap.
Ankara.
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 Isn't Janam the magic one? You know what? I posted it. I fucking posted it.
It's pinned.
There it is. Janam is the city of wizards, and Kara is the city of machines.
Well,
But still, he'd have been fascinated with either.
yep. The stuff they're doing is really primitive by comparison to what you do. So I pat him on the cheek. All right.
Yeah, he's stumbling around, clutching his head in one hand. His goggles are slightly askew, and he's leaning on his staff.
Heal check?
Roll it.
A 25?
He's fucked up, but it doesn't seem like any mortal affliction you recognize.
Does it seem like anything I can help?
Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, he's got Sarush and Zoltan here. If neither of them can fix it, I'm sorry, Clem, but you've been outclassed.
It's very true.
You're like a field surgeon.
Literally.
Literally.
I want to go talk to Sarush about him.
Sounds good. Grub gets the
Clem, can
ship
you get-
up
can you
and
get-
running.
Can you get Alexander?
Mhm.
I just want to talk to the two of them. Mom, you might be able to contribute here too.
Very well then.
I go and find Alexander.
You find Alexander.
Good card.
It's a very good card. Cleric tribal, bro. Cleric tribal. Clementine, you come to the door of Alexander's room and it is locked.
That seems unusual for him.
Roll that beautiful, beautiful charisma footage.
Uh,
Uh, uh.
yeah. A 13. Nope, a 12. Sorry.
Oh.
Roll better.
I've lost so much charisma. That was a pretty good roll. With that roll, can I? Is that what the roll was for?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Before the others arrive, I go to Sarush.
Sarush is chilling out in the medical bay, you know, doing his thing. One of his attendants
Yeah.
is holding up a book to his chitinous shell and turning the pages.
Oh, hey, what was the name of the lady of the sheriff from the Hell Jungle? The Terranova head.
Straight up, I do not fucking remember what her name was, and I cannot find it in the chat logs.
Holt. I mean, Cap. Did you capture that in your notes?
Oh, hold on. He was feeding Monster.
Oh,
Oh,
am I being addressed?
Only in terms of your role as chronicler.
Oh, one moment. I'm back.
Do you remember what I was about to say? We went over this once before, but do you remember what that what the sheriff's name was?
Sheriff. Oh, you
Terranova.
mean for Terranova?
Yeah.
No. You told me you were gonna go through your video. Did you
Yeah.
not?
You know, I'm going through the link right now and I cannot fucking find it.
Okay, moment.
Right, I'm at the bee's nest, Terranova, and then we get to the image of the Copseer.
Copseer.
Copseer. Right, I remember
met one-
now. Her name means something like spoiled earth or whispering earth or sad earth or something.
Hey, I went to the bee's nest. Met one of your students.
Oh, really?
She sends her regards. I just quietly take the tarot out of my pouch and lay it on the table near Sarush.
Dragonfly and Fuse are turning the pages on the book, and they just like drop the book and fucking bow down before the deck of cards. And Sarush thrums with holy power.
I put them back. How's Grub?
He is himself, but he's recovering slowly. I don't know what happened to him, but it seems like he'll make a full recovery. He was shaken in some way, spiritually, to his very core.
So we don't need to take the more extreme actions.
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
I reach out and I just touch his carapace. Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking care of him, Sush. You're a good friend.
Aww. There is a deep yellow warmth.
And I look at the two attendants. Fuck, aren't I at least as holy as they are? Jeez. All right, I'll take your advice.
Clem, do you knock on the door?
I do.
There is no response.
Do it.
Knock, knock, knock. Hey, Alexander, it's Clementine.
Nothing.
You, taking a nap?
Alexander doesn't sleep.
I feel like Clem knows this.
You do.
I am going to try the doorknob.
I mean, it's a ship door, so there's no doorknob, but yes, you may open it.
Okay. I'm coming in. Hope you're decent. Please don't fry my brain.
Where's Holt?
Talking with Taga, catching up.
Pidge.
Oop!
You done fucked up.
Oh.
And like the terrible wide-eyed visage of a completely unclothed Alexander descends upon you, like the likes of which you've never experienced. And before you can even cast a spell, he has your arms wrapped up in a series of arms and tentacles as his own beaked mouth hovers, drooling over your head until the portal closes, the light returns to the room, and he comes to his senses.
I was about to say that would have been such a good session ender. Oh man, Ronald, where's your sense of drama?
Sorry.
That would have been such a good cliffhanger.
As he releases you, recoils in terror and like falls on his ass, holding his head, weeping.
Oh, fuck, Alexander, I'm so sorry. I thought something was wrong.
You're sorry? You're sorry? Of course you are. Of course you are, you sweet summer child.
I mean, I probably scared the shit out of you.
No. I'm sorry. It's just been a long time since I've fed.
Do I notice, was he was opening the portal?
No, the presence.
He was the portal?
The presence of the void was just omnipresent.
Okay.
Like so, you know how you can feel someone's mood, like a haze around them.
Yes.
Alexander's mood haze is much more corporeal because of his psionic nature.
Okay.
Like, quite literally, if a powerful enough scion gets into a bad enough mood, he can just shred reality around him. Alexander...
Reality. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
That's psionics for you. Alexander isn't that powerful, but it is psychosomatic. It makes you feel things and experience things that aren't there. Sometimes on accident.
Fair.
Hey, what's our...
Well, I always wondered how you, ate.
I eat brains, child.
Yeah, and I would have thought that I would have heard something if you ate, locally.
I do. I mean, did you think that the men that we hanged went to the graveyard with full bodies, with bodies intact?
I think that would be a terrible waste.
Exactly. So let's just say I took my pound of flesh. Actually, give me a minute.
I would say it's actually more like,
Yep.
Was it like 3? 4?
because Clem would absolutely be like, well, it's actually more like
Yep.
X amount of weight. Sorry, that's inappropriate.
Oh, and then he follows it up with, well, more like 1,300 grams. About 3 pounds.
Hey, they weren't using it.
I'm glad you understand.
The circle of life.
The circle of life.
And it feeds us brains.
And just... I'm sorry. Between tending to grub and going without food, it's been a little like a trial for me.
That makes sense.
I can keep myself together for the time being, but we really need to get out of this hole. Please tell me we're leaving.
We're leaving. That's the good news.
Thank goodness.
Would you like to hear the bad news as well?
I wouldn't have it any other way.
We're leaving to go fight Daskius and the Dreadnought.
Oh, gracious. Well then, I may be able to feed yet. When he says feed, his face takes on a visage of hunger that's probably a little too real. Hunger, it transcends race.
Does it have to be human? I could grab you some rabbits or a bear.
Please, I don't like feasting on empty calories.
You always were the smart one.
I jest, but in truth, no, it has to be sapient.
Understood.
He says as he checks around his pretty threadbare accommodations. There's some magic-y stuff, with 3 Y's and a K. And he finds his robes and puts them back on. And he puts on his gloves. Anyway, thank you.
Oh, no worries. Let's face the music.
Let's do it. Clementine, I'm glad you opened that door.
And not someone else.
Yep.
Clementine, use the power of friendship to not get fucking mind flayed.
It's super fucking effective.
Well, it wouldn't have bothered Holt.
Yeah, it would've.
He said sapient. Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I guess I had
Fucking
that coming.
decimated.
Listen, intelligence is not something that I took damage in. I'm as smart as Toby.
Good point. There's Toby.
Clementine, if you offered Toby to Alexander, Gaia would consider it a grievous misuse of your power.
No offense, but Clem would sooner offer up Holt.
Ouch! But, fair.
But fair, though.
I'll try anything once.
I'm just gonna try getting mind flayed.
But literally in this case, once.
It's a
Every
great
mushroom
trick.
is edible, but some mushrooms are edible only once.
It's a great trick, but I can only do it once.
I figured that Holt would be rounding up Lobo as well to, just for the sake of time, to
I
fill
think we
everyone
need
in
to
on the
have-
plan.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
we need to have a group meeting. I was originally going to have a grub meeting, but I think...
Group.
Yeah.
Everybody shows up at the canteen.
Well,
Family meeting.
Family
maybe
meeting.
Maybe we should have the meeting in the med bay simply because Sarush is not that mobile.
He has his attendants. They bring him in on a
Oh,
litter.
okay.
So we've got Rurik, Galathur, who has returned, Gunner, Sarush, Timeless Dragonfly, Snake, and Fuse, Zoltan, McCavity, Alexander, Lobo, Pandora, Shiv, Jester, Crater, and Rabbit, and Taga.
That's everyone.
You remember Gunner?
Yep. Oh man, that Crater is a bad boy, man. He's a motherfucker.
How does Gunner react to Atriel?
He's a little confused, but like, eh.
They were allies, weren't they?
They were. Nominally, Gunner never wasn't alive during Atriel's time, but he had heard of her. Actually, he probably wouldn't really recognize her at all.
Oh, okay.
Like there would be, he would not recognize her at all because he's never seen her.
I forgot that he was young and born with eyes.
Yeah. So even if he did know of her, he wouldn't know what she looks like, and she doesn't look like what she would have looked like if he had seen her. That being said, he does see that you have like a ghost friend, and he's like, "All right, I guess we're consorting with ghosts now."
Yeah. Well, let's see. We have a ghost, a vampire, a mind flare, a demon lord, Holt.
I wouldn't go that far.
Mm-hmm.
A goat.
Go. A cyborg.
Yep.
Any other weird shit? But I mean, just your basic half orcs and gnolls and
A cyborg,
goblins.
an anarchist, and an old orc.
Cocoon.
A cocoon. Hey, Lobo is like a fucking unicorn, man. Like, he's an orc who hit like 40. Like, this is...
This is gonna be his last great fight.
You wouldn't want it any other way.
Of course not. I mean, he's been fighting in the past 10 years, he's been fighting every battle as if it were to be his last, and yet miraculously, he has survived.
So, you guys might have heard that that they finally left the graveyard. That Daskius and the crew discovered that we faked the crash and left with their tail between their legs. That's the good news. I look over at Clementine.
She gives you a thumbs up.
Bad news is that we're pretty sure that Daskius is now going to do something brutal and stupid and insane, because that's how he rolls. And the target's probably Wind City. We think the Dreadnought's heading there, and we have to do something to draw it away. If we try to defend it, it's going to get leveled. The only choice we've got is to try to get it away from there. And the best plan we have is to try to draw it to Grubb's Tower. Hope that the weapon is far enough along to do some damage. And if not, well, it's a pretty isolated part of District 2, not too many people around. And we have options to... We've got some power on board this ship.
Grub pipes up and says, "Yeah, if you're gonna fight around there, you can go hog wild. There's nothing around for miles and miles and miles."
So, that's our best plan. It's gonna be fucking dangerous. There may be boarding, depending on how this goes. So, Lobo, any suggestions you have in terms of what you think the best strategy would be? We're going through a whole bunch of different possibilities. I can break the shields. Clement, if we can get Clementine on board, she can unleash unholy hell. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have to take out Daskius, and we're gonna have to figure out what to do with the other three fucks.
And Clem kind of steps in and says, "And I don't want any one of you to think that this is going to be some sort of death before dishonor. If you don't want in this fight, you can leave, and there's no hard feelings."
Lobo and the rest of his fighters, they're here to stay. Rurik is here to stay. Gunnar is here to stay. Galathor is like, "Oh, I'm getting too old for this shit."
Oh, Galathar, how is he reacting to my spectral friend?
Oh, he and Atriel share a glance. You get the distinct impression there is going to be much wine and conversation in the next few hours. Gunnar's not leaving. Sarush isn't leaving, and therefore his attendants will stay. Zoltan, shrugs, I think, there's a look in his face. Perhaps it's pride, perhaps he's right, but he's pretty sure he could survive whatever they can dish out. McCavity is like, "Nah, I'm with you." Alexander is like, "Nope, I'm here." Lobo and all of his friends are like, "Yep, we got this." And Taga's like, "I'm out."
Holt kind of gives a sigh of relief at that, to be perfectly honest.
He's like, "I love you guys. It's been great cooking with you. But now that you're gonna go fight a chosen airship, I'm just gonna go home.
Good.
You pick me up if you survive."
You got it, brother.
He flashes a Captain Boomerang-esque thumbs up and fucking scoots out.
All right. Do we have just in terms of Grub? How fast is this thing? Do we have time to get some rest before we get into position? I wouldn't mind some meditation.
Yeah, maybe we got one night. This thing moves pretty quick. I can kick it into gear.
Clem, I think we both could use some rest, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna need everything I've got.
Yeah, me too. Well, thank you guys. It's kind of fucking humbling. Good luck to everybody.
They're all good in the hood. Lobo just says, "We've dealt with them before. They can't throw anything at us that we're not prepared for." Solandra, you know that they can throw a lot of things at him that they're not prepared for. They weren't there when Myrna boarded, man. They weren't there. And you guys have no idea what Tori is capable of.
It's true, we don't.
I don't like to think about that.
Don't worry about it.
He said he was a student of magic. What kind of stuff was he studying?
Yes.
Okay.
Tori didn't know any magic when I knew him. I sent him to Alexander hoping that he'd learn a skill that could help.
Do you mean Aziz?
Aziz, sorry, yeah.
Oh.
But, I don't know. I have the feeling that Tori's too... He wasn't there long enough to learn real stuff unless he found a shortcut, some sort of pact or something that could give him some juice.
I mean, you all saw what happened to Wind City when I brought Dogo in. It basically took all the crazy shit that I can do and turned it up
So-
as far as it could go. So even if Tori's not packing anything terribly powerful, we should be ready.
So, the theory that I've been working on, or have been advised, is that they probably cannot God's melt. They're capable of some degree of simulating being a scion, but not the ultimate expression.
Huh. That would be good.
Yeah, you're like 98% sure that they can't do that.
Yeah, that 2% worries her.
Yeah. Tell your friends you love them, 2019.
Do it. Hey gang, I love y'all. Thanks for playing games with me.
Love you too, buddy.
I love you.
Yeah, no. I considered like Taga staying and I was like he would
No.
not.
Taga's a smart lad.
If he said he was going to stay, Holt was going to try to convince him not to.
It wouldn't have taken much convincing.
Yeah.
No, I'll stay. You should really go. Well, when you put it that way, let me pack a bag.
Oh look, I've already got a bag packed. Oh, that was crazy. Put out of here.
Yeah.
Wow, you're so smart. Good boy.
I don't think I have the juice to take him back to District 4 right now.
He just shrugs and waves and he's like, "Don't worry about it. I can make my way. There shouldn't be anything between here and the World Bazaar, is there?"
I put up my hand. I can get you to the bazaar.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Clem.
Taga puts on a brave face, but he puts on a brave face that shatters immediately.
Yeah, I think I've teleported a couple times, so I'll
Yeah.
probably burn through my arcane pool.
Yeah, I've still got tree stride left. So.
Woo!
Whoop.
I mean, you could tree stride there and then just fly back if you don't have any more tree strides.
Though I actually
You just used the one spell, I thought, right?
no, you need to do a spell per stride.
Oh no, I meant before. Oh yeah, you probably did some tree strides in the Hell Jungle too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there was one.
This is all been
At
one
least
day.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know where Terra Nova was, but you knew roughly where the fortress was. So you're like, let's move closer to it. And
Yeah, because
then
I always prep 2 a day.
so you'd have one to get him there, but no way to get back, except by
Which is okay.
turning into a bird and flying, which is like fine. I mean, it's a 4-day trip, but much shorter as the crow flies. Especially
And
if
also
you're.
much shorter if you're not a crow but a lightning.
I was about to say, much quicker for a fucking lightning elemental. That cloud's moving awfully quick. Yep.
No big deal, just...
NBD.
I imagine Clem's lightning elemental form uses Who Frames Roger Rabbit rule, in that she's allowed to do things at light speed, but only if they're funny.
Agreed. Oh man, I was at one of the characters I've been role-playing in another server recently. Like, one of her operative rules is... Or two operative rules are... She can only do what you think she can do. And the other operative rule is she can do anything as long as it's funny. Anyway, so Clem, do you depart with Taga and return back at your nearest convenience?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. We will get to what happens next time on the Septemport game.
Sweet.
Because I've got to stat out your mom, and I've got to stat out all the boys. It's a whole thing.
You don't need to stat them out. You can just be like, and we got there and they were all dead because down. Hooray, we win!
No.
fair enough.
At this point, Selena has stats, but Daskius needs stats. Tori and Myrna all need stats. So I will stat those out at my nearest convenience. So, like, probably tomorrow.
Myrna's stats are gonna be scary.
Hey, don't worry about it. Her skills are
I don't want
high.
to see that bluff number.
And I'm thinking of actually making Tori a spellcaster because they need a fucking spellcaster. Also, come on, you gotta have some fucking chaos spells. How
Well,
else?
that's like
Chaos
Sandra said,
hammer.
Tori has not spent enough time to learn how to do magic legitimately, but he is not above making a pact.
I'm about to say, Warlock and Sorcerer are high on the table.
Those would fit.
Let me look up those delightful Warlock rules. But until then, you all get 10,000 experience points for a fantastic session.
Yay.
I'm glad that you all did not overlook fucking goddamn Holt just like leaving the demon fortress with demons in it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
It's fun.
It's fine.
I mean, frankly, if Mom hadn't told Salandra that that this was fucking imminent, that would have been a different conversation. But it's like,
Yeah.
Wait. Can wait. It sucks.
I mean, if you... Look, let me take you behind the curtain real quick. If you hadn't asked anything, I wouldn't have said anything.
Hmm.
But the gears are always turning, especially when you look at them.